Good morning. This is Rochester Speaks. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kevin Gillan. So what are your kids doing this summer? The YMCA of Greater Rochester has 11 branches here in Monroe County, and summer camp season is upon us. And we are joined this morning by Executive Director of the YMCA Bayview Family Branch, Mike Stevens, and also General Manager of Frontier Communications Rochester East, Corey Hewitt. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having us.
Welcome, welcome. Mike, how long have you been with the Y?
A little over 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you do before that?
Well, the first day out of college, I started with the YMCA. So I was an intern in college for our Greece location, the Northwest Family Y, and started at sleepaway camps the day after I was handed a diploma, and the rest is history.
Oh, cool. And how long have you been executive director then?
I've been executive director at the Bayview branch for 6 years, and previous to that I spent 6 years at our sleepaway camp in the Adirondacks, Camp Gorham.
And I imagine you love what you do.
I do. I love to see the impact on our community every day.
What do you love about Rochester?
I think we were talking about it waiting to come in here and see you today, that it's a big city that has a tremendous amount of resources, but you can get everywhere in 10, 15 minutes. There's so much to do, so much for our young people to do. It's a vibrant community, and it's a community that really gives back to a nonprofit organization like the Y.
Right. And Corey, how long have you been at Frontier?
I've been at Frontier just over a year.
What do you do in your position?
So I'm the local general manager in Rochester, and basically we're responsible for managing the overall operations for Frontier, including the day-to-day service people that come out and install the high-speed internets in both residential and commercial businesses.
And what do you love about our city?
I love our city. I'm born and raised here, and we are a city that is a technology hub, and having the smart people and the bright people here in the city of Rochester is tremendous.
Yeah. Mike, one stat I always give when I talk about the YMCA, the fact that the YMCA in Rochester is over 150 years old, which is pretty impressive.
It is.
Been around that long. But, too, the Y is actually more than a place just to work out, right?
It certainly is. The Y's gone through a number of evolutions in its 150-year plus history. A more recent focus on families for sure, and an ever-present focus on youth development. It's one of our core pillars, that we stand for and that we focus on in a day in and day out basis. And we're privileged to be the largest provider of child care here in Monroe County.
Yeah. And you have family activities, you have programs for seniors, pretty much run the gamut, right? We
certainly do. It's not uncommon to see a 6-week-old in our Child Watch programs, and then to walk into our gym and see a 96-year-old member in a range of motion silver sneaker class.
Yeah.
So we really do serve the gamut in our community.
So talk a little bit about the Y's commitment to strengthening community by nurturing the potential of youth, which is really important.
Sure. I think probably the greatest example that I can give is the reach and the impact that the YMCA services has. We are in all markets, all different neighborhoods throughout the Rochester area, in some of the, most affluent areas to some of the most impoverished areas, and really with a brand that is for all and ensuring that no one is turned away for an inability to pay. I think that's what separates us, is that we're able to really take on some of the great challenges that exist within our community.
Yeah, and seems everyone has at least one electronic gizmo device these days. So the technological distractions for kids these days kind of cuts back from maybe other things they could be doing to help them out in life.
Sure, I think it certainly does. I heard a statistic that the average high school child might send 186 texts in a day. And when I think about not even owning a cell phone when I was in high school, I think one of the things that really children are missing out on is the ability to socialize and interact and engage face-to-face and be in group settings, understand, appreciate group dynamics. And that's really at the fabric or the core of what our summer camping programs are, and allowing children to do that and assimilate into a culture where all different backgrounds are present for a 1, 2, 3 week experience over the summer.
Right. And the Y2, I know, has been offering summer camps for over 120 years, so that's been going a long way back in the community too.
Yes, certainly has, and we're blessed here in Rochester to have 3 very large day camping operations that are much more than just a pavilion or a field. Even you see tremendous resources to serve our community.
Right. And so we mentioned the camp season officially kicks off Monday, June 24th. It runs through August 30th, but there's still plenty of time for kids to sign up, right?
Plenty of time to sign up for all eight of our day camping locations. We also have 2 sleepaway camps, Camp Corey on beautiful Keuka Lake and Camp Gorham, as I mentioned earlier, in the Adirondacks. And there is still limited space available at all of those outlets for one week sessions and beyond.
Right. But I think sometimes when people think about summer camp, they think that they have to commit to it real far in advance, and then they have to, the kids got to go to it for a certain number of weeks. But you can go even for a couple days? This
week we are actually open in limited markets. We actually have a few of our camps that are open, and parents do have the opportunity to come for one day a week to really try us out. But after this week, it's a week-long commitment.
Okay. So that's still not too bad, where somebody can decide mid-July that they want to
certainly
their kids show up.
And they always have the opportunity, too, if they're in week 1 of camp and they really love it and they want to come week 2, week 3, by all means, if we have space, we can quickly transition them into additional weeks.
Right, and the 5 reasons to attend camp for kids: adventure, healthy fun, personal growth, new friendships, and memories. Maybe you can just touch a little bit about each one of those. The adventure part, I know we were talking before the interview how you guys have some great facilities here locally.
We do. We have a number of outlets that offer high adventure programming. The Bayview branch is certainly one where we've just put in a state-of-the-art dual zip line that's fully handicap accessible for children. We have zip lines available at 2 of our other day camps. In addition, we have climbing walls, we have team building courses, waterfront programs, tremendous programs in Genesee Valley Park. I mean, the opportunities just go on and on for kids to really get unplugged, get outside, and enjoy what the outdoors has to offer.
Yeah, and the healthy fun part, you just talked a little bit about the physical activity, but also you're giving out nutrition information to kids who could probably really use that stuff.
Right, we certainly are, and we've really taken it a step further this year to a commitment to all of our families that we are going to provide healthy snacks for them when they are participating in our programs. Parents don't have to worry as there's a busy scramble around the home to get ready for that day, but to know that at some of our locations they can even sign up for lunch, a healthy lunch to be provided, but in addition, every child receives a healthy snack at all of our 10 locations each day as well to round out the day that for some could last from 7 a.m. to as late as 6 p.m.
And how do kids going to a Y summer camp, how do they grow personally?
Well, I think there are a number of different ways that a child has an opportunity to grow. I think one of the first things that we focus on is skill development. So there's a number of different activities at camp, all with a real emphasis on skill development. And parents across the country tell us that they're looking for that within programs. They're also looking for children to be able to break down barriers and really see self-confidence, self-esteem grow in it. And our programs really take that head on. Our counselors go through exhaustive training to prepare to provide the best experience possible to our children over the summer. And that's certainly a focus. And I think inevitably we live in a world where everyone is capable of more than they give themselves credit for.
Yeah, and the new friendship thing, that pretty much goes without saying what that's all about, but also renewing maybe old friendships too.
Sure, at any one of our camp locations, you may have children coming from 5, 6, 7 different schools that are going to assimilate into one group of 7-year-olds, with all different backgrounds, different experiences, and you're right, a lot of friendships are rekindled. We have another number of children who might be vacationing in Monroe County. Maybe they're here to visit aunts, uncles, grandparents, whomever. I know we just welcomed a family from Washington State yesterday into our programs. They're going to be here for a couple of weeks. So kind of unique that we see kids from all over the country, too, not only just Monroe County.
And you also probably have a bunch of kids who went to camp and then now are camp counselors.
Yes. We just completed our all-camp Dream Big camp training for roughly 500 camp staff across all of our different operations. And of those individuals, about 80% were returning staff members, and I'd be confident in saying that probably 60% of them have grown up through our programs. We have leadership opportunities for children as they start to age out of our traditional day camp programs to take on more responsibility, enjoy leadership opportunities, and then even become a volunteer for a year or two before becoming a staff member.
Right. And Corey, the statistic about Frontier that most impressed me, it's a 100% U.S.-based workforce, right?
That's correct. Yes. If I think about Frontier Communications and how we align with the YMCA, the YMCA's values of youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Mike and I got together late last year, and we started talking about what are the visions for Frontier's perspective. And not only being a 100% U.S.-based workforce, many of our employees work and are part of the local communities that we participate in. And so being able to get involved with local engagement is critical to us. And in addition to that, knowing that we can support youths in summer camp programs and to be able to know that 100% of our proceeds are being donated to these kids to give them an opportunity to go to camp is a wonderful thing for Frontier. As you know, we do have the support of the kids at the camps, but we also have families, again, that work for us whose kids may be going there as well. And knowing that we can make the world a better place for not only our employees, but also for the kids that are a little bit less fortunate, and to be able to give them an opportunity to spend a summer and meet some new friends, and to be able to have a rewarding experience is important to Frontier.
And I know the Dream Big golf tournaments, one is already done, one is coming up. Is that something new this year?
Yes, it is for Frontier. We are the lead sponsor for the Dream Big series this year. We recently completed one earlier this week, which was a great success. Again, what is cool about this is that as we looked to all the different types of charities that are available in the Rochester area, we look at the local engagement. How can we give back? And kids, again, are very important to us. And knowing that the YMCA has demographics that we like to see, not only kids, but also we have our demographics of the silver sneakers, as Mike had commented on, to be able to look at how do we use the feedback from meeting and working and talking to the customers and being able to supply products that fit their needs from a Frontier perspective as well.
And I know proceeds from the golf tournaments help to raise money to send kids to summer camp. How did kids qualify to play in the tournament?
The kids aren't actually in the tournament.
Oh, okay.
It's a direct donation from the YMCA. We would typically bring in customers and employees from Frontier to play and participate in the tournament on the day of. And then, again, the proceeds that we get would go directly to the camps. The benefits that we get out of it is being local and having the local engagement. We desire to have customers use our products. And many of the other companies, our competitors, aren't necessarily as engaged and are not out in the communities and trying to do things to make kids be able to go to camp and to be able to do donations and to also take personal time out to assist in the programs. Frontier alone, in the Rochester, the New York area, we've put in over $120 million of capital improvements in the last year. And the things that we're hearing, and one of the things that we've been able to do is to go into the YMCA branches and talk to local residents and customers and competitive customers to get them over to understand what is it that you need from a internet technology perspective. And what we're hearing time again is that they're paying too much money. And as we think about the investments and the upgrades that we've been doing in the local communities, we've tiered our program so that we are able to provide a product that fits their model usage needs. And what that ultimately means is that they can save money by coming to Frontier, having a high-quality product, be able to take those savings and then be able to invest those back into things such as the local camps and charities in the local areas for such as the YMCA.
Right, and I know with the Dream Big golf tournaments, you guys invested about $18,000, and Mike alluded earlier to the new climbing wall. Frontier actually donated some money for that, too, to be built. Yeah,
that's correct. When we heard about that tragic incident, immediately a lot of the local techs that live in the Webster and Penfield area came up to me and said, hey, what can we do to help make a difference for the community? Because that's, their kids and their neighbors in our local community. How do we help out? And so we sat down with Mike and we put that contribution in to try to get the wall back up, which is a great success story because they recently just had the ribbon cutting ceremony as well.
Right. Very cool. It's nice to know, and I think people listening, when you pay that Frontier bill, whether it's online or you still stick stuff in an envelope, that you guys really do a lot to give back.
Yes, we certainly do. And the other thing that we've done locally or on a national basis is we've reinstated our brand We have Frank the Buffalo, which is now on all your local medias.
Yep.
And the intent there is, again, to say that we are listening to the voice of the customers. We want to offer high-quality products, and what you're going to get from Frontier is direct, accurate information as far as your billing and your no contracts, no modem fees, and that you're going to get what they say, no, you can't get BS from a BO, which is bad service.
Yeah. Have you met Frank yet?
Yes, I have, and he will be making appearances locally in the very near future as well.
Oh, really? That's nice to know. And, Mike, I think a real important thing here with summer camp season just about in full swing, financial assistance is available to people in need.
It certainly is, and it's handled at each of our local branches, so individuals are encouraged to go in and go through a very 100% confidential process where we have a chance to not only look at an individual's income, there's a number of other things that go on in someone's life that can't ever be realized on a W-2 form, and we want to work with people. We want to see children have these tremendous experiences at our camps, and to know that 1 in every 5 children who participates in a YMCA summer camp has received some type of support, or would not be there if you look at it on the other side without the tremendous support of organizations like Frontier.
Yep.
Is great, and it's great to be a part of an organization that does that.
And I know you guys got some proceeds, too, from the annual J.P. Morgan Corporate Challenge that was held not too long ago.
Yes, yeah. We were fortunate enough to be named as one of the recipients of the funds. The YMCAs of Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo were one of the primary recipients. That was exciting news as well.
Yeah. So if you got a kid and you don't know what to do with them for the summer and they want to go to camp, rochesterymca.org/camps is where you can sign up and register there. You can also just get all sorts of information at rochesterymca.org. We'd like to thank Executive Director of the YMCA Bayview Family Branch, Mike Stevens, and also General Manager of Frontier Communications, Rochester East, Corey Hewitt. Thanks, guys. Thanks for teaming up, and hopefully it'll be a great summer for all the campers.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.